Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to TTTV. We are live for the TTFL tonight, and the location we are going to be racing in tonight will be in Italy, situated outside of Milan. We are going to be racing around the old Temple of Speed, known as Monza. And with me tonight is just myself, Steph, in the books as always. The last European race on the calendar as well to top it off, so we're going to be hopefully in for an amazing race. Looking at it, we've got the drivers coming in as we speak, so looking quite strong so far. Now then, if you didn't see the last week's race, which was the in-season Classics Challenge Cup, I do recommend you guys going back on the YouTube channel TTTV Space F1 and look onto that race from last week. It was an amazing one. It was all raced in the 2002 Ferrari, so I hope you can guys watch them back on there. And also to last race around 13, which we raced a couple of weeks ago in Belgium. So, sorry, that was trying to clear my throat, lump in my throat, trying not to be the old Murray Walker there. Without further ado, then we go into the standings of the last league round, which was round 13 then. So, starting with the drivers respectively, we got Hamilton then still at top there with 161 points there, with Siege now in second, who's with 131, who's joined by Spike. So, the two titled Titans battling out on the points there, also in the pursuit to catch down on Hamilton. And so into fourth place then, we've got the Gort with 125, we've got Lambert in fifth with 103, we've got Poe in sixth with 73, we've got Jay in seventh with 61, we've got Ollie P in eighth with 50 points, we've got VSR Francis there in ninth with 43. Supercar NL is also joined there, but he's not really classified there because he's retired, so he's on 43. Into 11th place then we got Plaster there in 37 points, we've got Spaghetti in 12th with 33. We have got Mays in 13th with 32 points, who's classed as retirement. We've got Dan Sinclair 14th with 26 points. We've got TTG Ollie in 15th with 25 points. We've got Maximus in 16th with 22 points. We've got Fredo in 17th with 20 points, and also one and only Kieran McGinn there, also joined in there, mocked down as a reserve with also with 20 points there. 19th place we got Technique, who's retired with 19 points. Clifford then in 20th with 16 points. Alan Kate in 21st with 16 points. We've got Struth in 22nd with 15 points, along with Reed Nason there with 15 points there. SJ Melio in 24th with 14 points. We've got Zenki in 25th with 12. We've got Jez in 26th with 10 points. We've got Damien B in 27th with 8 points. Bilton Matt in 28th, who's marked down as retired, with 6 points. We've got Sean in 29th with 4 points. And then we got Izzy in 30th with 2 points. Blimey, that's a long lot of drivers there. So that's the drivers' standings then for round 13. Then we're heading down into the constructors. We have the Red Bulls then still at top there with 211 points, followed by the McLarens in second with 200 points. Mercedes are in third with 165, with the Renaults not far behind them in fourth with 161, along with heavily pursued Force India in fifth with 159. And then we've got the Haas in sixth with 102. Toro Rosso in 7th with 86, in pursuit by the Saubers in 8th place with 82 points. And then we've got the Ferraris in 9th with 57 points. And then we've also got the Williams down in 10th with 40 points then. So that is the drivers and standings all up to date there then. Now there has been like a couple of change like in personnel in terms of which drivers drive for certain teams, as that like drivers have a free pass of one change per season. So I'm also going to run through the driver lineups then for each respective teams respectively. Obviously with the Mercedes then, Siege will be with Uzi then as his teammate for the Mercedes. Plaster and Allen have reunited as their teammates again like they did last season, and they'll be racing in a Scarlet Ferrari around here, so we're keeping an eye on them as it's been around Monza. It's the Ferrari's home turf, so hopefully they get some points out tonight. Ollie P obviously would be Hamilton. Zanke was got Maximus for the Haas. They've got Damon B and Mays will be racing the Renaults. Got and TTG Ollie will be racing in the Force Indias. Jay still hasn't got a teammate at the moment, so he's the same lone wolf in Toro Rosso for now. Got Spike and Spaghetti Chips. There's their teammates as for McLaren. Struth and Clifford for the Saubers, and we've got SJ Miller, and also with the new driver who's been making his debut tonight is Joachim. So we'll see how we can do with the Williams then. So that is the couple of minor changes in terms of personnel. So then, going into the history of Monza, then has been on the Canada since day one of the Formula 1 Canadas. Started out in 1950. Back then the track was an oval track, as you can see, just before like turn 1. Or if you guys watched it on on F1 Formula 1's when the live races or any other motorsports events, there is a banking just before the turn 1 chicane, which features the old turn 1 itself, which then the oval goes round along into the back straight after Saskari, which then comes out on the connection on exit of Parabolica just before the main straight. Since then, it has been, since those days in the 1950s, it has been changed and remodified quite a bit in most general places. Turn 1, it wasn't exactly used to be turn 1, it used to be a left right quick chicane, and then down into Curva Grande, which Curva Grande used to be a little bit further deeper outwards into the gravel, but now it's a bit more inner with a more gravel trap on the left hand side. The Lesmos used to be like quick, too fast right-handers to carry speed, so it wasn't used to be medium quick speed, obviously compared to now where it's a little bit shorter than a little, but still maintains a good average speed. Ascari itself hasn't changed at all, so Ascari is still the same. Parabolica, obviously still the same layout, obviously just the fact that it has a bit more extra runoff area than it used to be. It used to be a heavily gravel trap which used to catch a lot of drivers out. And obviously Monza being the home of Ferrari, the Italian Tifozis will be going absolutely riot, hoping for any particular Ferrari driver to be on the podium or potentially win the Grand Prix tonight. So hopefully Plasto and Allen will be thinking themselves of a strategy to get themselves well up there and do well for the Scuderia Ferrari. But also it's home to actual other constructors as well that is powered by Honda as well, in the likes of Haas. So they'll be aiming to get some decent points out there as well, and also Toro Rosso as well. So we'll keep an eye on them, aiming to see if they can get points out as well. And also it depends on the case of the weather tonight as well. Mainly being Italy, not really much of a rain threat, but generally it can throw a surprise without me saying a word, and see what we can get up for tonight. Just before obviously going into qualifying, as the time is counting down, I will fortunately unable to do interviews after this the race has ended. Reason being is due to my outside work commitments from a job I do, and obviously I start really early for the next couple of days, which are unable to give me time to do interviews, unfortunately. But service will resume after the Christmas break, and everything will go back to full flow. So I'll make sure obviously the race is, or everything go through is absolutely brilliant as much as possibly can, but I just unfortunately just cannot do the interviews tonight. But like I said, everything will be resumed after the new year. Anyway though, back on to tonight. Heading into qualifying, we can see the lap times going down to 1 minute 20s or even to the 1 minute 19s. Original lap record was set in 2003 by one manual Pablo Montoya. So, which was then broke, funny enough, this year by Kimi Räikkönen. So, Kimi now holds the title and done it in spectacular style in the Ferrari. So, hopefully we might see some records breaking here tonight, but we can hope and pray. So then, into 18 minutes of quali then, and the sky is looking a bit gloomy, so we do not know if there is actually going to be a chance of rain in this qualifying session. We do not know. Obviously we keep an eye out, see what the drivers are doing, but at the moment it is dry. Now, obviously the tyre choices we've got tonight will be the super softs and the mediums. So the drivers will be thinking ahead of what tyre strategies to go for. Meanwhile, as we've got a couple of drivers going out on track, we'll try to track down who is the first one to come out. So we'll do our best to check. The first one out then will be the Sauber of Struth then. So he'll be the first one out on track. And also be my little guinea pig tour guide. Or should I say guinea pig tour chauffeur in this case. Now Monza is an amazing track. I love the track. Very fast, high speed. Heavy braking zones of a couple of chicanes to break you down, catch you out on your toes, makes you feel like on edge. Speeds exceeding like 220 miles an hour, especially down the main straight, but you can reach speeds over 200 on the back straight, as Struth has demonstrated. So then we'll go on board with Struth then, heading up to old Parabolica then. Making sure he's get his exit right here, because this will help you down the main straight in particular. So coming out Parabolica now, heading up towards the line to start your flying lap, and the DRS point is right about now. So exceeding over 200 miles an hour, hitting towards 220. Picked out the crucial point of the braking board of around Tifosi. Crucial to get this done right here, which he does through them two sections. Now heading up towards Curva Grande here. Obviously now Curva Grande goes in here. Used to be in the left side if you quickly look. Used to be the track used to be up right that ball over there. Now heading down to Curva Velante. Crucial to get this line through here. Easy to cut the corner here, and crucial lap time here. Heading into Lesbos, into Lesmo 1. Keeping it alright there so far. Now heading up to Lesmo 2. Crucial to get this right, because it helps you down the back straight, heading down towards the Scurry. Back end, wants to step out a little bit there, but he keeps himself going now with DRS happening, heading down towards the Scurry, seeing the speed going up above 200 miles an hour on the dash there. Now heading into the old Scurry. Going to the left and the right. Oh, he got a little bit out there. That is going to crucial lose time here. Make sure the exit is right there, but lost his back end a little bit, going around the Scurry, but kept it under control. Now heading up towards Parabolica then. Again, make sure you get your entry right here. Now just let it go out to the wide and pick up the speed as much as possible. Heading up towards the line then. What is the lap time here for Struth? And it's a 1 minute 20.5, so that is the benchmark target so far then for Struth. Meanwhile though, Squeezy there, being one of the reserves, representing Ferrari there, has got a 1 minute 19.7 there. So the Tifosi there have gone absolute right here already, knowing that Ferrari's up on pole, well, official pole at least for now. Damien Beat then is in third then with 100, well I should say third, now gone down to fourth with 1 minute 21.7. Lambo then, also one of the reserves tonight in their PT with 1 minute 19.7. Also 1 minute 19.740, which now goes down to third place. Siege then in fourth with a 1 minute 19.734. 746, sorry there. So very tight lap times here so far, and couple of drivers have decided to cut through the first section of the chicane there. Good job there, guys. Keep it on track and within the lines. Spaghetti Chips though goes on to provisional pole then with a 1 minute 19.3 there in the McLaren. So looks like the gauntlet has been laid down for the old classic rivalry between the McLarens and the Ferraris. Now this will be an interesting lineup here. Meanwhile, Spike there in P5 there, 1 minute 19.8 then for the second McLaren driver then, so he'll be open to be in the top 5 at least there. TTG Ollie is in P6 with 1 minute 20.1. Zenki in 7th with 1 minute 20.3, but setting his lap time on the set of soft set. Now this will be interesting strategy if he decides to stay on the soft set, because he can make it into a one stop here. So Zenki might be playing a good safeguard here and decide to go on the softs, which might benefit him in the race. But we keep an eye on just in case if lap times decide to change his mind later. Yaham then, one of the news drivers today, making his debut as well for tonight, and a good timing for it as well, especially coming into Monza. So welcome to the league there, Yarman. I hope you can do absolutely well here tonight. And he sets his lap time already of 1 minute 20.4 there for the Williams driver, so good lap time there so far. Maximus then is starting up his flying lap here, or out lap there, and obviously going through the exit of turn 1 there with the back end literally wants to come out there, but great car control and still keeps it pointed in the right direction at least. Keep an eye on his progressing. Ollie P then also up there as well on the flyer, doing something for Red Bull, hopefully to get up into the good amount of points tonight. Also, Alan K there. What is Alan K? Alan K is off track, and I can't see exactly where he's located. And it's turn 1, round the Tifosi. So that's not a good sight there for the Tifosi fans. And literally seeing one of the Ferraris off the grass there. So hopefully it hasn't damaged Alan's tyres too much. Just give me 2 seconds while I try to clear this throat quickly, ladies and gentlemen. There we go, that's better, sorry about that. But yeah, just hoping it doesn't damage the set of softs there for Alan, because that would be a very hard blow then if it did. But we keep an eye on Alan's progress anyway and see what will happen. Meanwhile though, Maximus and Ollie P are set at a lap time respectively. Ollie P in the P10 with 1 minute 20.6, with Maximus in 11th with 1 minute 20.8 then. So current top drivers then are currently there set a lap time. Still waiting for Mays, SJ Miller, Jay Hamilton and Alan Kay to set a lap time. And meanwhile, speaking of Jay, pushing his Toro Rosso to the absolute bare limits there around Parabolica. And he's now off to set a flying lap, aiming to get a good amount of lap time here. SJ made it as well, coming around Parabolica and opted to go into the pit lane. So obviously not happy potentially maybe on that set of tyres, or maybe made a mistake somewhere out on track. But hopefully you see what will happen then, doesn't cause any upsets there. Maximus though has retired. Maximus has retired in P11, so maybe just not happy with the car, and knowing maybe the pace of the car generally with his setup. And Yahoo then, one of the new drivers, has currently left the session, so maybe connection issues are happening. But hopefully Yahoo can quickly get back in and carry on with qualifying, otherwise he may not be able to partake in the race. Meanwhile though, watching Jay here, we'll go on board with him actually. Going around Ascari, the car looked absolutely brilliant around there. And looks like a very quick lap time here for Jay as well, so keep an eye on him. See if we can get the lap time around Parabolica here nice and perfect, which it does go right up to the edge of the green Astro there. Don't want to go out too far, otherwise you send your back end absolutely happy there. And puts himself up into P5 there for the Toro Rosso driver, so not bad lap time there. And SJ Mellon's also retired. So SJ has decided to retire there, maybe the best lap times possible. Meanwhile though, on board with the championship leader at the moment, Going around a scurry, he has got a bit of traffic up ahead, but it might produce help him with beneficial in tow down the straight, but not so much around the corners. To see what happens around Parabolica, then hope he doesn't get distracted, and that is the Mercedes of Siege up ahead, so Hamilton might get beneficial lucky here, being close to Siege, but it might hamper his tyres a little bit, but puts himself up into P3 there for the Red Bull driver. So Hamilton still putting out good form of good laps here, especially to keep his championship going in the full charge and extend it for the Christmas break. Squeezy though, still going quicker up there, going 1 minute 19.3, and is only separated by at least 5 thousandths of a second between him and Spaghetti, so it is definitely the old classic duel of Ferrari versus McLarens. It's great to see this duel happening. It's been a long time since the McLarens and the Ferraris actually having a duel around here. Obviously in real life it's a little bit, bit spaced out in terms of different engine suppliers in particular, but in the terms of the league though, it is great to see the McLarens and the Ferraris having a great duel around here at least. So then at the moment, and talking about a duel, it is still hotting up out there with Spaghetti now this time taking provisional pole with a 1:19.2. Now obviously at the moment most of the drivers out there all in the top 10 are currently on super softs, and the question is how many sets are they actually burning up to sacrifice lap time for grip. But the lap times are coming down. Can we see lap times at least maybe into the 1:18s? Maybe it is possible. Only literally 0.3 off the old 1 minute 18 marks. But at the moment, trying to find drivers that are currently going for it or out on track at least. We got Zenki at the moment in the P9, aiming to prove and to get himself up the table at least, or up the grid. Oh, goes a little bit right there on the second chicane there, touching the gravel. Now that can be costly in terms of lap time. It's proven dirty around Lesmo 1, going a little bit wide, going Lesmo 2. Lesmo 2 is a bit more better than Lesmo 1 at least, but has this happened hampered and Zenki's lap at least? But going for a scurry at the moment then. Goes a little bit wide, and yeah, that is definitely cost him a lot of time there, understeering at least for the middle part of the section of Ascari. It's not exactly Zenki's best qualifying lap he's had so far, but he's still got plenty of time at least to get himself right up the board. Now, I'm presuming Zenki's going to carry on, or is he peeling into pits? He was thinking about going into the pits, but puts himself up into P4 anyway, with a 1:19.666. So, despite little minor errors there from Zenki, he still put himself at least up into top 5 there, and still has plenty of lap time or time left to get himself up the board at least. And obviously there is a yellow flag in sector 2 which happily disappears there. That might be just a case of drivers just getting out of the way there from each other. I'm trying to find on board of at least any drivers out on the lap time at the moment. At the moment there, Jay is pushing his Toro Rosso, and he's pushed it a little bit too far there, going into gravel. And looks like, yeah, it looks like he's just eased off there. I think he realised that it seems to touch the gravel just a little bit too much on the right foot. Meanwhile though, TTG Ollie is literally heading up towards Parabolica now. He has got a bit of traffic in front of him, and also he's got a bit of traffic behind him. So hoping he keeps his head down, might be able to improve on the lap time. But instead opted to go into the pits whilst Mays has retired, and obviously not sell a lap time, maybe just saving a set of boots, or just thinking for the strategy ahead. But heading down into the 4 minute mark now. This is all the calm before the storm at least. Damien B is also retired as well. But Squeezy now on the charge and starting the flying lap. We will go on board with Squeezy on this one. See what he can do. Heading down into the Tifosi. The fans now will be going absolute riot seeing the Scuderia Ferrari going through. Oh, back end, did he want to come up there, but great car control there from Squeezy. Heading down towards Curve Grande then. How tight is he going to keep it going around there? He does keep it very right there. Opted nearly to go into the middle, but kept it to the right. Now heading through Volante. Again, left and right there. Great control there from Squeezy. Great lap times there going so far, going through to Lesmo 1. Off to go down to 4th gear there, trying to get better traction purchase. Now heading into Lesmo 2. Again, car still wants to keep going, although it does want to step out at times, but Squeezy's got it all under control. Heading down towards the old Scari. Again, keeping it very nice and tidy here for Scari. This is lovely. Oh, he goes a little bit wide on the exit there. Might just get away with it there at least, but a little bit of a heart in your mouth moment there from Squeezy. Now heading into Parabolica. Again, keeping it very nice and tidy. Now what is the lap time here for Squeezy? Is it going to be a P1 at least? And it does. It's a P1 with 119.281 at the moment. So he is still extending the gap a little bit to Spaghetti. Now we just got to keep an eye on him, Spaghetti at least to see if he can respond. Meanwhile, Siege is up there at the moment, pushing like hell for his Mercedes, aiming hopefully to get in the top 3 at least. Maybe we'll keep an eye on him, but he has got other drivers around him looking very competitive in terms of pace as well. We've also got to keep an eye on Lambo as well. He's going very slowly around on the back straight, heading towards Parabolica. But I think that's just a case of his warm-up, and he is going for it now to start his flying lap. So we'll keep an eye on Lambo as he's going through. We've got various drivers up ahead as well. We've got TTG Ollie as well, pushing as well to get decent lap times. Also got Hamilton up there as well, also going for the charge of pole. Oh, and he nearly lost it there, going through Volante, then heading into Lesmo 1. Hamilton heavily going aggressive on his lap at least. You don't want to be going too aggressive because the walls around certain parts, a bit like Monaco, but again there's plenty of space there. Heading down towards the older Scari. Again, car still looking very stable there for Hamilton at least. The question is though, has he done enough? He has got enough time there to get another lap in. But it is crucial there for Hamilton to see what he can do. And see if he can carry on the charge on being the driver's champion so far, or on board for it. He still hasn't improved on his lap time. He's still got one more lap, which is this lap left to do, as long as he's got enough energy to do so. Spaghetti then literally pushing his McLaren, trying to outdo the Ferraris as much as he possibly can. Meanwhile though, Siege is up into P3, keep an eye on him as well, and Spike puts himself into P4. I think that's the best lap time he can probably do. What's the lap time here for Siege? Siege remains in P3, and Spaghetti there has retired, so Spaghetti maybe made a mistake there on his charge to get P1. But at the moment then Squeezy holds P1 for now. Question is though, where is Hamilton? Hamilton's heading towards the Scurry, whilst Lambo is heading around Lesmos. So Squeezy's opted to retire, thinking that he's got pole secured. Hamilton there goes nearly wide off his Scurry, exit of the Scurry there. That is very crucial there for Hamilton not to lose his car there at least. But now heading up towards Parabolica. Again, car keeping tidy there, hitting touching the old Astro there, but Hamilton heading towards the line. Well, it's the lap time for Hamilton, and he takes P1 with a 119 dead, 119.062. So that is the target, their lap time so far. Now the question is, Ollie there, TGG Ollie then goes up into P2 with 1 minute 19.1 then. So Hamilton and Nolly are on P1, P2. Question is Spike on the lap? That doesn't look like it. Looks like it's just coasting into the pits then. So Hamilton then takes P1 and TTG Ollie takes P2. Squeezy then has to settle for P3. So Hamilton is out on pole. So then, with the qualifying now ended then, we've got Hamilton in P1, TTG Ollie P2, Squeezy P3, Spaghetti P4, Siege in P5, Spike in P6, Lambo 7th, Jay in P8, Zenki P9, Struth in 10th, Ollie P in 11th, Yaham in 12th, Maximus 13th, Damien in 14th, Alan K 15th, Maze in 16th, and SJ Melodin in 17th. Obviously Maze and SJ Melodin's lap time. So, and also anyone from 11th place downwards have also got a free choice of tyres, whilst everyone in the top 10 will have to settle for the best lap time they're qualified on. So heading into the race then, last one of 2018 at least. Oh, hello, the weather gods had spoken and we have got a wrecked race. Now this is what we would like to see. Now, the question is how heavy this intense rain is. Is it going to get any worse? We do not know. But this will probably throw all the drivers off their own comfort zone, thinking that it's going to be a nice dry race. But now it's a wet race and it's a completely different kettle of fish. So, they'll be thinking carefully on the strategy, thinking of how long can I extend the intermediates if it's going to be heavy rain later on, or how many laps I can get out Inters before making another pit stop for Inters, or if it's a case of drying out later, how long can I last at Inters until the dry period comes. So, drivers out there literally now thinking all their strategies out carefully. So with Hamilton out on pole, he's now got a tough choice to do himself well, and obviously going through the formation now, but it looks very slippery there, so obviously it looks like the track is still a bit greasy in places. So Hamilton is out in pole then with Ollie in second, and obviously Squeezy in P3 there, who dropped a bit back there, maybe just a case of didn't get off into a good practice line off there. We've got Spaghetti in P4, we've got Siege in P5, Spike in P6, Lambo in P7, Jay in P8, Zenki P9th, Struth in 10th there, RDP in 11th, we've got Yahoo in 12th. This will be interesting for him, see what he can do, especially in the wet weather conditions. And we've got Maximus in 13th as well, we've got Damien in 14th, Alan K 15th. Keep an eye on Alan as well, because there's going to be a chance as well, especially in these type of weather conditions, he might get himself up the field. Also the likes of Maze as well. He's not too bad on all wet weather conditions there, the old dog, and see what he can do. And also SJ Melody starting at the back as well in P17. So, with the wet weather then, no, it's all not down to true pace, it's all down to pretty much car control and skill. So, and also knowing the conditions of where you can push the car, because it's a different type of area, and also the braking points are a little bit more earlier than normal. Now with Hamilton there just getting everyone up to the line, obviously it's a bit for spaced out there, so he might have to wait a little bit while there and making his inters go a little bit more colder, and also his brakes as well than normal. Where he has got the rest of the field then just coming through, so a few of them decided to get disqualified then. So everyone there just now decides just to roll into the grid, into their own boxes. And the last remaining car there of SJ Miller just coming into the box, getting ready for the Italian Grand Prix. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Lights out, and away we go for Monza then. What's the starts like then? Everyone there getting onto a cagey start there. When a few they want to make an overtake. Oh, there's Toros in the background there, but Hamilton then getting off to a decent start. He is getting attacked by Ollie here, heading down in turn 1, making sure everyone get through turn 1 there. Oh, and is it squeezing there, hitting the attack of Hamilton then. Hamilton Ollie goes side by side then, but has everyone there got through turn 1 at least through fine? At the moment, so far it has, for now. So everyone there getting through then cleanly at least. The track conditions there are not helping out the conditions whatsoever. It's still a bit greasy, although Ollie though tacking down Hamilton, go down the inside. Is it trying to do a Vettel and Hamilton? Hamilton there goes off wide there. So Hamilton there goes off wide. This will open up the door for Ollie then to get through, and he's going to go down the outside of Lesmo 1. Can he make it stick? No, he can't, not for now. Although Ollie's got to be careful. He has got Squeezy coming up behind him as well, so it's very tight and compact here. In through Lesmo 2. And Hamilton looks like he is definitely struggling there. Ollie looking very feisty, although Squeezy now is on the back of Ollie then, aiming to go for a move. And meanwhile though, we have got Spike there falling down a little bit behind the pack there. So Spike then is not having a good start either, falling down a fair bit there. Meanwhile there is an overtake going off on Lambo and Struth. Lambo there goes up to P5 and Struth down to P6. Siege then getting a 10-second penalty then for exceeding track limits. Now, what has happened there with Siege? Siege then looks like he's gone off wide at Parabolica, so that's sending down right at the back of the pack, not where Siege wants to go. Meanwhile, though, Ollie has gone up into P1 then. Hamilton then slot down 3 places there, so maybe Hamilton's made a mistake, but TTG Ollie is in P1. Squeeze then going up to overtakes Ollie down the inside of into turn 1 down into Tifosi. Can he make the move stick? He's got the inside line, which there comes to the outside line. Ollie still maintaining side by side, although Squeezy. Oh, let's go 3 wide there. Spaghetti's now going for it as well. And see, Squeezy then gets through then into P1 then. Now this will send the Tifosi up into absolute miracles here. Praying that a Ferrari could win after all. But Ollie is now under attack by Squeezy. By Spaghetti, sorry. But at the moment, nothing doing it so far. Meanwhile, overtake going on for Jay and Struth. Obviously, Struth then goes down in 7th, whilst Jay is up to P6. And we have got a safety car. Now, this could be for the, yeah, that is for Siege, unfortunately. Siege is DNF, so we now have a safety car. So, with the safety car out on lap 2, then this will just calm down the field a little bit after the hectic mayhem of 2 laps at least. So going through the running orders then of the drivers so far, providing they ain't got damages, then we've got Squeezy in P1, Ollie in P2, Spaghetti in P3, Hamilton down in P4. Not been the best start so far for him, but it's still early doors yet, so give it time and see what will happen. We've got Lambo making a good start up into P5 there for Sauber. Jay is also as well up there in P6, Struth in P7, Zenki in P8, so we've got Spike down in P9. He's also lost out a little bit at the start. Yarnham taking it very cautious and got himself up into P10. SJ Miller having a good start there from the back of the grid, getting himself up into P11. We've got Ollie then in P12, we've got Mates in P13, we've got Maximus in 14th, Damon 15th, and Alan K down in 16th there. And obviously a couple of drivers there, a few drivers there making a pit stop here. We've got Struth there making a pit stop, potentially maybe change the set boots then. And the front ring, yes it is, there's a front ring change. There's also the same there with Spike, also with Ollie as well. So, and Damien as well. So 4 cars there making a change of front wing then. Obviously in a safety car being out, they ain't going to lose much time. They may lose a bit like in terms of track position, but getting front wing change underneath the safety car is normally a blessing in disguise, really. Knowing that you're not going to lose too much ground, but you'll be on a fresher set of bits and still able to attack. So, obviously, as the safety car is out a little bit early, it's not going to make too much difference in terms of strategy. But for those that had to pit, they will be guaranteed onto a 2-stop. The question is, though, they'll be on the fresher set boots, aiming to go further and push the ones that haven't stopped yet into potential areas maybe, which will benefit them later on. So then once the safety car does pull in into the pits, Squeezy will be effectively the safety car itself, and the fact of the old Tifosi will be literally cheering on Squeezy, aiming to get a good set of points here and do well for the fans here. They'll also be playing on Fradlin K as well to help out to get into the points as well. But the drivers are just literally keeping the tyres in check, keeping the temperatures reasonably up with the interiors. You don't want to be getting them too cold. Although some of them will maybe decide to go off the racing line then to literally just keep them cooled down a little bit at least. Or just to check the grips. Meanwhile though, we have got Yarnum into the pits. Where is Yarnum going into the pits for? Change of strategy maybe. Needs a change of strategy and the front wing change as well. So obviously not a good little timing to do it. It wasn't. If he did it like the first lap round, he wouldn't lose too much time. But that'll put Yarnum right at the back of the grid there, right at the back of the pack at least. So for those that are starting out the outside the top 10, they'll be absolutely loving this so far. And the best gain so far as well in terms of where their starting positions are is SJ Miller up in 9th place, not 9 places there with an original grid spot there, so good start there from SJ Miller. And obviously the biggest loser there will be unfortunately their Spike. Maybe just got caught out in the conditions maybe, or just a case of getting caught up in an incident. But meanwhile though, safety car hopefully should be peeling into the pits maybe after the second sector line. Safety car still going out at the moment. No sign of its lights going off just yet. Oh, and there we go. Confirmed rule there from race control is coming in. Squeezing now will be the effective safety car. And obviously the safety car light is just on the exit parabolica at the start of the pit lane entrance, or just before the pit lane entrance itself. So it's all down to Squeezy then to say when he wants to go. He'll just plant down the right foot, aiming to get a good start off the line here. Obviously now this will bunch the field right up nicely here. Potentially overtakes heading down into turn 1 at least. Oh, and that is the McLaren there. And that is Spaghetti there. Spaghetti there making an absolute error there on the restart of the safety car. And that has put himself right down and he's got to make a pit stop out of it. But meanwhile this is opening up places for people, and Squeezy then getting off to a good start again. So Squeeze then off into a good start. He has got Ollie down into pursuit here. And obviously a few drivers are getting absolute penalties there for ignoring yellow flags, so I'm sure they'll get removed by stewards later on. But meanwhile though, Squeezy is out in front then. And we have got little battles there going off across the field as well through this. Obviously there, Hamilton under pressure there by Lambo. Lambo attempted to go down the outside of Curva Grande. Hamilton then has to stick on the right hand side. It's outside for the first bit, but comes to the inside for the second. Oh, and it's still side by side there. Great camera angle there for our getting from Lambo there. And Lambo is up into P3 then. So Lambo's gone up into P3. But Hamilton's still there. And they make contact going through Lesmo 1. But still keeping it side by side here. And this is a battle here for P3. But Lambo there still maintains P3. And meanwhile there is a battle going on for P5 and P6. Zenki then still battling out there with Jay. Ending down towards the scurry. Can he get it sorted out by the time of the braking zones? And Zenki then is up into P5 then with Jay into P6. And I'll see. Oh, that is Zenki then going off right there in P5. But still keeps under control then. Spaghetti then having an absolute nightmare here at the moment. Oh, Maximus there goes off right. Then that was at Parabolic, not Parabolica, Scurry. So Maximus there is retired then. Zenki still dueling then with Jay. So Zenki that up into P5 at the moment. Jay still pressurising Zenki. Zenki going heavily defensive, heading down towards Tifosi. Can Jay make it around the outside, in which comes the inside for the second part? But still dueling side by side, and then Jay's got the overtake done. Jay's got the overtake done. Nice, great car control there from Jay. He's getting himself up into P5. Meanwhile, there is battles galore going off across the field everywhere. It's hard to struggling to keep up. Ollie P gets himself into P9, battling so far with Yarnum and Mace. At the moment, Yarnum is in P10 at the moment, and that is settled down. So Yarnum is now on the charge then to battle here with Ollie P. This is for another set lot of points. But at the moment, Ollie P still holding his ground at the moment. Ollie P being the old expert there of making his tyres work and making them last longer and still produce good pace. But Ollie P now is under huge pressure there from the Williams. Heading down towards the Ascari. Still dueling side by side. Can he get the move done? Looks like Yarnum's got the move done by Ascari. Yes, he has. So then Yarnum up into P9. Lambo meanwhile gets the overtake done on Ollie there. So Ollie must have made a mistake somewhere. So Lambo is up into P2. And meanwhile there is a battle going off there in the background there into battle for P5, P6 and P7 there. A very long strange chain of cars there at least. Jay now under huge pressure then. Goes a little bit wide there, that's a little bit back-ended up. I thought there was a bit of contact there, but luckily not to get no contact whatsoever. Lambo saying the fastest lap time. Jay now under huge pressure then from Zenki. These two are still dueling. Can he get the break? Also, I'll overtake again. This time, Zenki going on the outside, which now becomes the inside. Then they make contact there, banging wheels. No damage on the cars whatsoever. Jay still hanging on there for dear life as much as he possibly can. Although SJ Miller was watching this very carefully. In P7, and obviously at the moment Jay under huge pressure from two cars at least. Where is Zenki? Where is Zenki? Zenki's still there, although Zenki's cut the chicane there a little bit. That's going to compromise a little bit. In a little bit of track warning limits at least is probably as well to be told. But they're both still literally line astern. Jay under huge amount of pressures. He's now starting to form a train at least here. This is a huge train here of P5. Zenki now in the slipstream, heading down towards Ascari at least. And obviously SJ Mellow's there watching as well, seeing what these two can squabble up to, hoping not to get caught up in any mischief. But at the moment though, Zenki there still applying a lot of more pressure here, and there is an overtake going on. That is for battle for P2, Lambo and TTG Ollie. They're both going side by side there, great respect from these two. They make contact, literally touching wheels, but both give each other room though. And Lambo still maintains P2. Squeezy still is extending his advantage by doing so, by pumping in a fastest lap of 1 minute 30.1. Lambo now getting under pressure here. He's under pressure by Ollie. Ollie heading down the inside, heading down towards turn 1. Can he get braking points done correctly? Yes, they do. They're still side by side. And Ollie then retakes P2. But Lambo still coming back at him though. But Ollie then maintains P2. Gets the move done and maintains it. So Ollie up into P2. Meanwhile though, back looking at this form of the train behind Zenki. Zenki gets the overtake down on Ollie, so Zenki now hoping to get charged away, but Ollie's not letting him get away so easily here. They're both attacking each corner as much as they possibly can, trying to gain a good decent amount of time as much as possible to the car behind. And at the moment Zenki is pushing to catch up to at least the top 4 at least. Hamilton is starting to close to the back of Lambo, so it looks like Lambo maybe starting to struggle a little bit on his tyres maybe, or using off a little bit too much to attacking Ollie. But Hamilton now keeping his head down, trying to regain focus and try and recover what he can from his race from the start. But at the moment just sitting up behind Lambo, eyeing for a move potentially down Parabolico, looking for it, half-hearted. But at the moment just got to make do for now. You're getting down the main straight though, obviously no DRS whatsoever due to wet weather conditions. So Hamilton then going for the attack on Lambo, down side by side, heading down towards the Tifosi. Spike setting the fastest lap time in the meantime, but Hamilton opted not to go for the move down into turn 1, probably taking it very cautious, thinking it's a very long race and still going for it. Yarnum though, Yarnum getting the move down off on Spike up into P9. Spike is up into P10, but Spike is on the charge. He's set the fastest lap time at least. He is on the back of that Williams. He also is on the back of that Sauber. But at the moment Spike's going for the move, but opts to hold back. Rise thinking there from the Season 1 World Champion. And he is literally tacking like there's no life left tomorrow. So he's giving it everything he can today to try and get himself going, and Spike's proving that so far by challenging all the other drivers up ahead. Yardum though doing well though, making a debut, getting under pressure there by the world champion, well the Season 1 world champion, but it's not letting it bother him whatsoever. Obviously Struth, then obviously this train of cars, then literally tailing back to at least P4, I say. And obviously Spike and Yarnum now going side by side, heading down towards Parabolica. Can get the move done by Parabolica. And they're still going side by side. Spike still hanging around the outside. This could be beneficial there because it's more grippy in the way on the outside than it is on the inside. Spike still maintaining P9 at the moment, but still dueling side by side. And Spike gets the move done. Now he's got to use the slipstream toe to defend himself as much as he can. But easy said and done. And Yarnum's going for the move again. Look for it, but opted not to. Good call there from Yarnum not to go for the move there. That would have probably cost him a bit dearly there. But at the moment, Maze is into the pits at least. But Maze is into the pits. Having a stop-go penalty. Not good there for Maze. But let's see what the Renault boys can do. Change the tyres then. And away he goes then. So Maze down on the charge to get himself going. Yarnum picks himself a 3-second time penalty. Not ideally what you want. But at the moment then, Hamilton and Jay. Oh, what's happened to Zenki? And Zenki there making an error. And it looks like he's hit the wall. And does he look like he has some wing damage? What's going on board there? No, looks like no wing damage, but maybe just because of a spin. And that sent Zenki right back down to his nearby original starting position. So Zenki then has got a lot of work to do. He's got 17 laps to go. Oh, and now it looks like Spike then nearly lost it in Parabolic Ascari then. He nearly lost it, and Yarnum done it so well not to make contact there with the McLaren driver there. But Spike there getting very lucky there, losing it. But keeping himself good car control though. Lambo in P3. Chasing down TTG Ollie. But just a little bit back. Meanwhile, though, we have got overtakes galore going on here. This is what we love to see, especially in these conditions. SJ Mellon and Struth. SJ Mellon and Zenki. Obviously, Zenki then gets up in the P7. Oh, and that's Zenki then making a little bit of contact there with Struth then. Obviously, cutting turn 1, trying to make avoiding action. But obviously, probably not ideally beneficial. So, Zenki then having a little bit of a torrid time so far, trying to recover. But still keep himself going. SJ Mellon though, still behind watching these two. And obviously Zenki now going for the move. Looks like he's getting a better exit there on Struth. Can he get it done by Lesmo 1? Oh, it's going around the outside. Oh, there's contact there. There is contact there from Zenki and Struth. Which then makes a little bit of literally chain reaction backwards. And obviously there's Spike benefited it from all of this going up into P7. SJ Mellon then was doing so well in P7, getting caught up in this. But is obviously got caught up and got down into P8. DRS is now enabled, so now this looks like the changeover to a set of dry tyres. Then obviously they can choose any dry tyre they want because they started the race in wet conditions. And obviously the first person to be out on the exactly dry tyres then is Yarnum, making potential challenging good decision here to get the undercut on everyone else around. So obviously everyone out going to be peeling into the pits then. Obviously Squeezy, Ollie, Lambo, Hamilton, Jay, they're probably thinking going long and going for a set mediums to push himself towards the end. TTG Ollie though is going for a set of softs. So some of them opted for a soft then to get to the end. But Squeezy playing the safe call and the safeguard has gone for a set of mediums. And obviously quite a few drivers then opted to also go for a set mediums and see what positions have been gained out of this. Obviously at the moment Struth is losing out all of this so far, as also Ollie P, as well as everyone else is into the pits. Lambo there gains P2. Oh, and that's Ollie there going off wide at the Tifosi there. So Ollie there going off wide now. That's going to set him quite back. He doesn't himself get going and he's still pirouetting there on the exit then and just getting himself reset onto track. So Ollie then getting caught out when the conditions started around the exit of turn 1 has put himself right back, and he's now under threat then by Spike. And obviously Spike there on the harder compound tyres, which will probably benefit in these side conditions easily. And Spike then makes the overtake there on Ollie, then going up into P7. And so Spike now up into P7. Obviously all through that, obviously Hamilton, Jay, Zenki, SJ Mellon also promoted up a place, although Ollie is coming back at Spike and regains P7 then. So Spike there is going for the overtake and he's going for the switchback, heading down on the back straight here, getting DRS as well. So this will benefit Spike here, going down the Ascari. Can he get the move done by Ascari? Looks like he has. And that is Yarnum. Yarnum as well, getting up as there as well. Literally, and also cuts the chicane there. And come back on the track. Then he close to making contact with Ollie. But that was very hot in the mouth moment there. And that's SJ Miller as well, having a little bit of a mare there off Ascari as well. So obviously the drivers here are literally pushing like the road tomorrow. Like it's like a GPT race. This is absolutely interesting and absolutely amazing as well. What a good way to set off the end of 2018 there with the TTFL. But at the moment though, Yarnum is literally trying to chase down TTG Ollie. And Strafe then again to move down SJ Miller. Then almost goes down and make contact there, colliding wheels there, and that is he is off on track. And obviously at the moment that is TTG Ollie then having a little bit of excursion there. And obviously Yarnum then really takes P7. Maze is into the pits again. This time opted to go for a set of super softs then. So we keep an eye on Maze's progress. Meanwhile though, Strafe then and TTG Ollie having a battle. And that's Ollie there. Obviously Ollie then making contact with Strafe there. So that's Ollie out of the race then. Oh, that is unfortunate for Ollie. He was doing so well. And until like the weather conditions changed maybe. And then obviously getting caught up with the drivers there battling. That is unfortunate for Ollie. Not a good way to end before the season break here. Meanwhile though, Yarnum and Struth and SJ Miller. Yarnum and Struth, and obviously Struth there goes off wide there. This will open up the door for Yarnum. We're going side by side here. Lambo setting the fastest lap time 1:27.6. And Yarnum gets himself up into P7 there for the Williams driver. So Yarnum then get through Struth, on like Struth's coming back on him. Struth gets it done on the inside of Parabolica and stretching out on the exit here. But at the moment though, Struth there gets the idea rest to pull himself away as much as possible. But Yarnum still in the slipstream, looking for a move. But at the moment Yarnum has just to settle for now. SJ Miller just behind his teammate, watching it all unfold. Aiming to get a good set point here for Williams, and looking very good course for it as well. Two good rapid drivers in these between them two. But this is like the closest point so far out on track, at least for now. We'll try our best to keep an eye on other battles as well going on unfolding out. This is hard to keep an eye on, it's just me in the box. But Yarnum is doing so far. Keep an eye on the back of Struth. Although Struth starting to struggle a little bit. Maybe it's just because of his car setup being a little bit aggressive. But at the moment Struth is starting to pull away a little bit. Yarnum's got DRS assisting him. And also SJ as well. Keeping least within distance to gain a potential overtake here on any squabbles happening between them two. And Struth then goes off wide again on the exit of Scary. Yarnum this time getting the move again. It's deja vu of the last lap. Going side by side, heading down towards Parabolica. Yarnum gets the move done. Yarnum then chucks out a bit of dirt as well. So Yarnum up into P7, Struth down into P8. Although Struth now heading down back again. Struth then gets overtake down on the exit of Parabolica then, so it's a deja vu of the last lap at least. But Struth then literally trying to pull away as much as possible with DRS. Yarnum again keeping behind just for now. SJ Miller still watching as well, unfolding this as well. Whilst that was all going on, we'll keep focusing towards the front where we have got Lambo and Screezy. These two battling out, brothers in arms in real life at least, but both racing different teams. Lambo going for the overtake, potential leader of the race. Lambo's going side by side with Squeezy, heading down towards Ascari. Squeezy going to keep defending the move. No, he's not. Obviously, Lambo then gets the move done on the outside of Ascari then on the first pot. And Lambo is up into P1 with Squeezy in P2. Although Squeezy shouldn't feel too disheartened, and he has got tyre durability advantage towards Lambo, but we'll see how Lambo can do with a set of tyres at least to see if he can push on. Meanwhile though, returning back to the battle of P7 at least. Still a little bit battling out between them two, but this time a little bit different this lap around. Yarnum just a little bit behind. Maybe he's just letting Struth get in a little bit ahead and maybe let him burn up his tyres just a little bit more, trying to push away whilst keeping track distance. But the winning boys though, The William boys are doing well though in P8 and P9 at least though, so doing good progress so far in terms of points. So then, with the track just a little bit slowly calmed down a little bit, go through the running ends so far. So as of lap 16, and Lambo in P1 with Squeezy P2, Hamilton P3, J P4, Zenki P5, Spike in P6, Streef in P7, Yarnum in P8, SJ Mellon in P9, Damien B P10, Annie K P11, Ollie P P12, Spaghetti P13, and Maze is in P14. Obviously the runners that DNF'd or retired is TTG, Ollie, Maximus and Siege. So those are your 3 retirees. At the moment then, looking at round the nearest battle going down towards the battle for P11 between Ollie P and Alan K. Red Bull versus Ferrari. Meanwhile Lambo there sets the fastest lap time going so far, so Lambo is on a heavily good charge here, trying to extend the gap as much as possible can on Squeezy. Bolly there just losed out a little bit of time there to Alan there. It just has to settle there for P12 for now. Meanwhile, everyone's just started to fizzle out the gap just a little bit. Meanwhile though, Jay has left the session, so has Jay lost internet connection somewhere? Because he hope he gets back in ASAP. Otherwise he will start to lose position into the cars behind. Hopefully not too much. But I'll just aim for Jay if you near me. Get back in the track as much as possible. Meanwhile though, Hamilton then starting to chase down on Squeezy. Maybe Squeezy's just preserving his tyres just a little bit. But Hamilton making most work as much as he can with the set of softs. Question is though, obviously with the time of the weather change, will the softs get to the end? It is pushing a little bit, but see what happens. Oh, Squeezy there goes off a little bit back end nappy down the XL Parabolica, but keeping it under control so far. Hamilton though sets the fastest lap time, 1 minute 23.2 at least, so that's a good lap time so far. Meanwhile Zenki and Jay, obviously Zenki then overtaking the ghost card there with Jay. I was getting my hopes up there a little bit, but still waiting for Jay to get back in though. But battle for P2 starting just to hot up a little bit. Obviously Squeezy and Hamilton then will be dueling out. Meanwhile then Yarnum has retired from the session. Oh, that is unfortunate for the Williams driver. I don't know why he retired, but that's unfortunate for him, especially on his debut. He was doing absolutely well there. Meanwhile though, battle for P2 is starting to hot up just a little bit more. We have got Squeezy and Hamilton. Obviously Hamilton with DRS assist, and then we'll game so close here, gain up as much as possibly can. But at the moment, Squeezy then just maintaining P2. But Hamilton now starting to make inroads as much as possibly can. Obviously he has got a tyre advantage to Squeezy in terms of performance wise, but Squeezy's got a terms of advantage towards durability wise, so maybe Squeezy starting on a set, going on set mediums is probably more beneficial. Maybe knowing that the cars ahead will be starting to drop off near the end of the race, depending on the tyre wear of course. Zenki though sets the fastest lap time in 1 minute 22.7 on set mediums, so there is pace then in the in terms of the set mediums then. So it looks like the mediums are starting to come into their perfect lap time window maybe. So obviously the soft runners are probably thinking, have I made the right call? Maybe to go on out on track here, to go to the end. Meanwhile though, everyone there at the moment who's benefiting behind Jay will take full advantage of this whilst waiting for Jay to get back in. Hope he does get back in soon. Meanwhile though, Ollie P and Alan K then dueling out. Ollie P then getting the move down into the points then. Alan K there was in the points then and obviously lost out to overtake down Ollie then. So Ollie up into P10, Alan K down into P11. Although Alan's got to be careful, he's got Spaghetti then not far up behind the road as well. We'll see Alan still pushing on Ollie as much as possibly can, although Ollie is starting now to stretch the legs a little bit and pushing it. So Lambo there responds to the fastest lap time on 122.2 then. So Lambo still trying to extend the gap as much as possible he can on Squeezy. But for now just has to hold on for a little while yet to at least 7 more laps. Jarnan then leaves the session now. That is unfortunate for Jarnan, having a great debut in the terms of the points. I don't know why he opted to retire, but that's just unfortunate there for him. Meanwhile though, still carrying on. Battle for P2 is still ongoing. A little bit stalemate in terms of the gap, although Squeezer there making a little bit of mistake. This has opened up Hamilton to a treat there, getting absolute close here. And hopefully get an overtake into P2 potentially. But he's now got DRS assisted. He's probably going up into full rich mix and overtake, heading down towards the back of Squeezy. Is he going to make the overtake in Scurry? Not for now, just has to settle behind Squeezy just for now to get good line out for Scurry. Lambo you can see just up the road there, so Lambo's not too far ahead as well. But at the moment though, Hamilton going for the move on Squeezy, a little bit half-hearted there. Meanwhile there was an overtake going on for P11 between Spaghetti and Allen, but unfortunately missed out due to the focusing on this battle at the moment. Heading into lap 21, Hamilton now will have DRS heading up towards the back of Squeezy. Is he going to go for the move? He's going for the move, he's going down the outside. Is he going to make it stick on the outside? Hamilton then locked up there, but has to maintain, although compromise Squeezy a little bit, because obviously Squeezy compromises itself. But Squeezy then maintains position at the moment. Meanwhile though, Spaghetti and Ollie. So Spaghetti then making up 2 places in the space of half a lap to 3/4 of a lap. So meanwhile though, Hamilton and Squeezy there making the overtake there. So Hamilton now up into P2, Squeezy down into P3. And I totally have missed that because I wanted to see that while Spaghetti was having a little battle there with Ollie and Alan K. Oh, I wanted to see that battle, but Hamilton up into P2, Squeezy up into P3. So Ollie then unfortunately got himself out of the points, but still maintaining behind Spaghetti though. Still plenty of laps left in it to get an overtake done as much as he possibly can. And this is for the last paying points position then, especially coming near to the end of this 2018 and the last race of this year before the winter break. Lambo still stretching out the legs, going even quicker on these set of softs. It's only 10 laps old in terms of age, but it is still pushing though. Meanwhile though, Ollie is just starting to set back a little bit, so meanwhile Squeezy is on the charge, and he's on a heavy charge to retake that P2 off Hamilton. Got so close down the back on the main straight, but not close enough. But now the sun's starting to come out a little bit more, so obviously track temperatures will start to rise a little bit more, which will probably turn a bit more in the favours of the soft tyres and potentially the super soft runners as well. But obviously hot track temperatures will also wear out the tyres, particularly on the softer compounds, quicker. But Squeezy though, he's got the DRS open. Is he going for the move on Hamilton? Just a little bit too far back, just attempted anything for now, but getting himself lined up at least potentially for the exit of Parabolica. Or is he going to go for the move just before Parabolica? We'll find out. But it still maintains in the slipstream of Hamilton at least. But at the moment, he's just hanging on for the main straight. Hamilton's still trying to get the perfect line out of the way as much as possible, and he's doing so. Squeezy then with the DRS. Can he get the move into P2? Hamilton going defensive here, keeping to the right, keeping the higher ground at least. Although Squeezy's got the move done in the braking. Yes, he does. So Squeezy then does the move on Hamilton then. So Squeezy's got himself back up into P2. Good driving then between them two, and great respect there. Meanwhile, there is the yellow flag. Oh, Is that Lambo? Lambo's there making a mistake. Lambo made a mistake on the Parabolica. And he's just chucked away the lead he just had. Now that's just opened up the race completely. Squeezy then is now in P1 with Hamilton in P2. Lambo making the error there. He's dropped himself into P3. My word, this is the not the climax we wanted to expect. Thought Lambo was clean slaying up the road. Proved that to be wrong. Now Lambo's got a lot of work to do in the space of 3.5 laps to get himself back up into P1 or get himself up close as much as he possibly can to this lot. Hamilton then getting 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help him whatsoever. He's on a full charge now, knowing that the race victory is up ahead. The only car stopping it is the Ferrari. It's the Ferrari of Squeezy, and he's making that wide as much as he possibly can to defend himself from that Red Bull. Heading around Parabolica now, heading around to lap 24. It's definitely now horsing up in Monza. The Tifosi are now going absolute riot, cheering on Squeezy. Hamilton now going down the outside. Is he going to make a stick around the outside? No, he's not. He's a little bit too far back. Squeezy still maintaining his ground. Hamilton though still completely close to these two, but just a little bit far back, maybe just potentially watching and see what's going on. But he doesn't want to be sent back too long, because these two will probably end up starting breaking away and taking away the victory, while one of them will probably potentially take away the victory as much as he possibly can. But Hamilton though is heavily pushing the Ferrari under pressure, and Squeezy's not having none of it. He's still making that Ferrari big and wide as much as possible, not letting a sniff of a window from that Red Bull to get through and take away the victory he earnedly deserves. But Hamilton there at the moment, just a little bit too far back. But Lambo is starting to pull back a charge now, getting his tyres back under control. Got to heavily push down as much as he possibly can. Also at the moment, Squeezy is just hanging on. He knows this straight's going to be tough, especially straight line speed. No matter where you are, the straight line factor on the main straight at least is more heavily potent than it is down the back straight. But at the moment, Squeezy's got himself covered for now at least, but we'll switch back in a minute. But meanwhile, the battle going up between Damien B and Spaghetti is unfolding. And Spaghetti then heading down towards Scurry on the back of Damien, going down the inside of Scurry. Can he make the move done? Yes, he does. Damien then lets him have it, and Spaghetti then gets himself up into P8, then Damien down it into P9. Meanwhile, though, turning back the tensions back to the limelight. Who will get P1? Will it be Squeezy, Hamilton, or will it be Lambo? But at the moment, they're all fairly close to each other. Squeezy, he's got a bit of traffic up ahead of him. That is ghost card there of Jay, so he shouldn't be too much to worry about at least. Senki meanwhile picking up another penalty then is not going to help him whatsoever. But at the moment, Squeezy still holding his ground. Hamilton is on the back of Squeezy, and this time looking absolutely close here. The question is, will Squeezy get the DRS off the ghost car of Jay though? But it doesn't. Honestly, Hamilton they're going right at the back of Squeezy. Lambo they will be using this wisely, benefiting, trying to gain back as much as possibly can. Squeezy still maintains the gap on Hamilton. And Lambo now is starting to close in as well. 2 laps to go, and it is starting to hot up every single part of the track, especially at each corner between Squeezy and Hamilton then. Obviously Lambo, he would have been flying away with this if he didn't make a mistake, but at the moment, although Squeezy and Hamilton go side by side, Squeezy under huge pressure, but still maintains it for now. Hamilton starting to apply the pressure and notched it up a couple of notches. Squeezy starting to feel it in the pressure, but knowing that he just got use his tyres to his advantage. Yeah, it's got the high ground in terms of grip between them. And obviously with Hamilton and Squeezy still keep dueling out like this, Lambo will be back into the action. And Hamilton is right on the back of that diffuser of that Ferrari. Only literally one more lap, one more corner as well with it. Squeezy and Hamilton going side by side. Hamilton getting the move done before Parabolica maybe. Looks like he has. Squeezy then is down into P2 then, so Hamilton then into P1. So Hamilton now will be under huge pressure now, going into lap 27, the final lap as well, around Monza. And Squeezy there has got DRS. Where's he going to go? He's going to go down the left-hand side, going down the outside, which then becomes the inside. Has he got the move done? Hamilton then will defend in all his might. Oh, and then Squeezy's got the move done for the lead. Now, what he's got to do, he's got hanging on to the end of the lap at least. So Hamilton is down to P2. Lambo now is joined into the back of this as well. So this is going to be a three-way battle here for the lead. Then it's going to be side-by-side run Curva Grande. Hamilton then going down the outside. Squeezy then still holding off the ground. And Hamilton then gets the move seat done back, make sure it doesn't go too far deep, and they're both still going for it. They're having tongs, literally pushing every single corner as much as possibly can. Now they're coming up to the last point of the Lesbos, and also the last DRS point as well to be activated, so it's all down to the exit of this. And also Squeezy's just a little bit too far back. Lambo's now also on the back of Squeezy. Does look like Hamilton got the move done and the victory maybe in hand. We'll see in a minute. Long to no mistakes are happening whatsoever. Squeezy's still pressuring though. He is now under huge pressure there off Lambo. Lambo's definitely chucking his Sauber left, right, front, centre, back end coming out on the exit of Scurry. And obviously Hamilton then will be praying for a victory here. Was not expected when he started off. But no, Zenki's then retired as well. So Zenki's then retired and now prepared to spike up into P4. But meanwhile though, Hamilton then comes over the line, takes P1. And now he's up Squeezy. Squeezy then takes victory of the penalties. So Squeezy takes the victory with Lambo in second and Hamilton in P3. Oh, there's 1, 2, 3 right there. Spike now will be coming over the line in P4 then. Unexpected as well from Zenki's mistake. Struth then will be the next one to come round the last corner of Parabolica then to take P5. And that's a good drive there from Struth as well. He's not been having too much of great luck here so far in the season, but taking P5 and Monza, they'll be happy with joy with that. SJ Miller getting the best vision so far in this season, up into P6. Spaghetti Chips then would have been well up then with the race, even though he made a mistake in the restart there, but does a great recovery drive and comes over in P7. Damien then gets himself into the points then into P8 there. Great drive there from Damien. Ollie P up into P9 as well. So Ollie then up into P9. Alan K making up the last lot of the points then. And Maze there coming over into P11 though. But your race winner though is Squeezy. So then your top three, very tough battling top three then. Hamilton in P3, Lambo in P2, but your race winner though, and in front of the Tifosi, is Squeezy. My word, what a heart in mouth moment, literally non-stop battling across the field. A little bit of rain in Italy has thrown the race all over, and great racing then from everyone. But what a great race there from everybody. What a great race. Literally non-stop. So the unofficials are the official results then. We have got Squeezy then in P1 with Lambo P2, Hamilton P3, Spike P4, Streetman P5, SJ Melo P6, Spaghetti 7th, Damien 8th, Ollie P 9th, Ali K 10th, Mace in the 11th. So Zenki, Jay, Yarnum, Ollie P, Maximus, Siege are the ones that retired then. So, driver of the day, who can I give it to for driver of the day there? The driver of the day, who I can give it to? I'm going to give it to SJ Miller there for the Williams in my books for the driver of the day on this one. Starting off from P17, getting itself up into P6. Keeping nose clean, keeping out trouble. And a good strategy call, so I'll give it to SJ Miller there as my driver of the day. Also, you can leave your own votes of who you want as your driver of the day down in the comments below. So feel free to put that through there, and also the highlight of the race as well. That'd be absolutely amazing. But what an absolute race from everyone across the field. It literally non-stop galore. So then, obviously that is the last race of 2018 of this year anyway. Fortunately, I will not be doing interviews because obviously due to work commitments. So obviously then with Squeezy then being the race winner, Lambo in P2 and Hamilton P3. Lambo then making a little error up in front which cost him the lead. Squeezy and Hamilton dueling out for the last corner for the last couple of laps. But Squeezy takes the win via penalties. So then with the next race then for the TTFL, which will be after the winter break in the new year, obviously the TTFL will be back on the 4th of January 2019. Obviously, next race to be on the series of the last of the least 2018, which will be the TTL F2, which will be live at Spain at 8 o'clock on Sunday and 8:45 at Monaco. We have got a commentator especially lined up for that one. No, unfortunately it's not me. It'll be down to Andy. Andy will be joining the commentary booth as on the special guest for that particular night, so please join him. Please feel free to join him at 8 PM on this Sunday. It'll be an absolute cracker for the TTL F2 with these two tracks coming up. Obviously, the next race for TTFL will be on the 4th of January 2019. We'll be live at Singapore for the next race for the TTL F1, which will be returning as far as I've been told on the 1st of January. So back on New Year's Day and straight into action with the TTL F1. We will be live at Canada on Tuesday the 1st 2019, and on Thursday the 3rd of January we'll be live at the French Grand Prix. So then till the 4th of January then, and further ado from every single racer drivers in the TTFL and also all the TTL and TTL F2 from all the com teams, from me, Kieran, Andy, and also from the stewards, and also from Mays himself being the owner. We will wish you a very good Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we will all be back in the new year. So have a good one and have a good Christmas from all of us, and we will see you in the new year. Take care. Bye bye.